Right, so we're back after, I think, over a month now, Jesus, since Triller killed my dreams. We're back with Bryan Danielson's AEW run. Now, straight up, two things. Normally, I'd have the pictures, because obviously I could screenshot them on Triller. I can't. I'll be using the official press images, so apologies for that. You'll have to stare at this for a bit longer if you watch. And also, I've got no music in the background. It is the World Cup. You might hear some audio. But yes, we're back, and the last match we covered was Bryan Danielson's Anarchy in the Arena, the first ever Anarchy in the Arena at Double or Nothing, where he teamed up with Eddie Kingston, Ortiz, they've just scored, and Mock, obviously the BCC, to take on the Jericho Appreciation Society. And this is his first match back, ironically for us, for our first match back doing the run. It is match number 35 against Daniel Garcia, a Fight of the Fallen, which is an AEW Dynamite, which is the second match they've turned up to. And this was Bryan's first match after injury his return. And they really big this up in the match. Now, the match itself it starts very intensely. The pace is there. And the whole narrative throughout the match is Bryan back? Is he fit enough? Is he rushed himself back? And the answer is honestly yes. And I really like how they did that. I like how they made, because fucking hell, if you don't know, I'll do tricks on it for Bryan. I don't give a shit. I'll glaze the guy till the end of time. But the point is, like, I do like how they make him look vulnerable and obviously weaker because of the rushing back to injury. And I really like how it's Garcia as well. I'm a big Danny Garcia fan. I think Garcia is great, especially I think he goes all in with everything he does. And Jericho's on commentary and he's giving Bryan all shit. Taz is agreeing, going, I hate Regal, because Regal doesn't come out, it's just Bryan, which Regal was entering with them normally for the BCC era. And Garcia, like, Bryan and Garcia go right at it. Like, you can tell Bryan's taking out his frustrations that he's finally back, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I really like. But Garcia is very much onto it, and, like, Bryan just can't keep up. Not that Garcia is the quickest, but it's just, he just looks off, and it's, I really like that. I thought it was very interesting. I thought it was very, honestly, a really good way to go. It really helps elevate Garcia, but it doesn't help discredit Bryan, which is, I think that is kind of a hard thing to kind of do, especially for someone like Bryan. But you can never really discredit Bryan, but you know what I mean? Like, someone at the level of Bryan, especially at this time too, is of a legendary status, in my opinion, the greatest ever. And as it continues, Garcia at this point was very much a younger guy. He's seen as the Jericho Appreciation Society guy. Obviously, he had a run in PWG, but you get my point. He wasn't really a mainstay name, and he wasn't really known for being this incredible wrestler. And Garcia gets, don't get me wrong, Bryan gets himself over, but Garcia does a lot of himself. But it also doesn't make you think like, oh, Bryan's just, let him do that. Or, they've made out the way. No, it works. It feels very natural. Because Bryan's put himself back from injury, it's really good. Really well worked. The match is like a 50-minute. It's from like the last 15 until the end of the show. Garcia does kind of fuck up with Bryan, obviously. He does a DDT. He rips the mat off throughout the match. And he does a DDT. And basically, Bryan looks out of it. He looks just off the pace for Garcia, and I love how they portray Garcia as very much just latching on, just very much, I don't care, what about, I think a lot of wrestlers, sometimes trying to be like, oh, respect thing, and you don't, try and take advantage, and I know Garcia is a bit of a heel, but it's kind of in a, it's not in a heelish way, it's really well worked, in my opinion. It's Garcia sees that Bryan's in a weakened state just from the get-go and just goes at it. You can tell in Bryan's eyes. Bryan's striking, and then, the strikings are really hurting Garcia. He does an elbow or smack to Garcia. Garcia's basically dropped, but Bryan can't even stand after it. He's really just out of it. And it doesn't make him look like a whole, oh, bro, it doesn't make him look like, oh, he's washed or whatever. No, you can tell, oh, God, Bryan's having an off night. There's going to be a bit of a struggle. It's like one of those... It's like whenever you watch any type of sport or anything, oh, the big guy's having an off night. It's Rocky, you know what I mean? Rocky versus Creed. Creed's this superstar. Rocky's really good, but, he's not that level yet. And that off night, you know what I mean? It's just really well worked. It doesn't have the same fight feel as Rocky, obviously. But, it's that sort of narrative. And I really enjoyed it. I think the DDT he does to him I think it's a DDT. It's basically a DDT. He does that to him outside the ring. Bryce is trying to tell Garcia, and Garcia even saying, like, I have to, you know, take advantage of it. Bryan starts bleeding at this point, and this is where the match kind of tries to get its intensity back. But even then, when this is where it feels like it's set up for a basic Bryan comeback. And I mean a basic in the best sense, you know what I mean? It's just something that he does. And I feel like that's how they really work. Because, like, there's points where Garcia's, like, kicking him, standing. Bro, Garcia stands on Bryan's head, which you don't do to Bryan, you know what I mean? Especially at that level for Garcia. No way. And I really like how, like, you know, that's clearly setting up, like, oh, we're going to do Bryan coming back here, you know, just kind of make this match feel a bit more. But they honestly, I really like how they portray that. I knew the result going in. But, and like, they try to get through, like, the strike and, like I said, the kicks, and they do hurt Garcia. Garcia doesn't look, like, so clear-cut, but he looks just more, he wants it more. And, like, even with Bryan, like, the finish, I'll talk about the finish in a minute, but, like, there's this whole little things, it's small, it's, like, I don't know if it's just character work or what. Garcia, like, if you put this as a modern-day Garcia would be so cocky, so arrogant, being like, yeah, ain't no way, you know, all that shit like that. But, like, here, he's a bit more calculated, he's a bit more level-headed, and he's not getting ahead of himself. Don't get me wrong, he has the foot on the head, which is a bit of a cocky moment. But it's not a whole huge deal. It's just kind of, like, take advantage of it while it's there. And because Bryan's basically fucked at that point. He's fucked throughout the match. He looks tired. And I feel like that's the narrative they're going with. Obviously, you know, he's just come back from injury. He's rushed it. Jericho's repeating this on commentary so much. The finish... So they go out the ring, and he's trying to have this moment little out the ring, you know, where they're dragged out. And Bryan forces Garcia back into the ring, and Bryan's following him back into the ring. And Garcia's, like, basically, it's not distracting ref or whatever, but he gets on the apron. Bryan gets on the apron to get back in the ring, and there's a hand that comes out the apron grabbing him, and it's like, what the fuck? And, like, they never show who the hand is. And then, like, Bryan basically, you know, he's distracted by trying to, like, get his foot off, and then when he gets back up, Garcia basically hits him with a, I don't want to say a brain buster, but, you know, basically a Styles Clash to the brain. It basically was a brain buster. And then he goes for the Scorpion Deathlock. And Bryan, so Bryan's out of it after that head, obviously the neck breaker, essentially. And then Garcia has the submission hold, and he's really cranking it. Like, the desperation and determination on Garcia's facial is so good. It's so, like, it's just a testament how good Garcia is. Again, Garcia fan, but still, I think he doesn't get the credit for all the stuff that he does. And Bryan's, like, shown teased the tap, and it's like he's got a tap. He's looking, he's reaching for the ropes, and this is where it really sells, like, you know, he just hasn't got it in him, and he's just reaching, and he just fades, and he doesn't tap. Thank God he doesn't tap. I was fearful that he was tapping, but he just fades out, and he passes out, and not even from a neck, fucking, you know, hold to the legs. That just shows that he wasn't ready to come back, and Garcia gets the shock win, which makes the two of them one-on-one, which is huge for Garcia. Obviously, Jericho's over as hell. He's going, yeah! They go in the ring, they celebrate with Garcia, all stuff like that. This is excellent. This was the match. This was really good. I really enjoy how they worked it. I thought the way they held the narrative of Garcia... Not like I like how it didn't overshadow Garcia's moments where Bryan was still not ready to come back, and I feel like that was definitely a really, like, it's a real risky way to bring that through with Bryan not being fully fit, but then for Garcia to still take advantage of it, but still make Garcia look pretty good. Like, obviously, it's hard to make Garcia look bad. He's great, but you know what I mean. That's a very hard narrative, a very tight line to walk, but they manage it well. And I don't think it gets the credit for that. Obviously, you know, one-on-one, there is a rubber match. That is our next match. And that's probably their most infamous match. But, overall, from a Bryan perspective, I enjoyed it. Obviously, he doesn't look great here, but, like, that's kind of the point. He doesn't look bad. But he just doesn't look like the levels above the Bryan should. He's kind of chopped down to earth. And then Garcia, just determination, kind of wins it for me. I thought it was, honestly, really, I thought it was an excellent match. I do. I think it's I don't think it's, like, the best match I've ever seen. And obviously, you know, it's a Bryan match. I'm always going to rate it highly. But it's like, it's just, this is a match example of the small things. And that's what I really, like, love about Bryan Danielson matches, where they are a lot of the small things. And obviously, Garcia really helps it. But still, it's that psychology that I really enjoy. Obviously, Bryan still looks good, but Garcia is the main... And you can tell Bryan really liked it, so, you know, to put Garcia on this, like, kind of notoriety. I really enjoyed this. I thought Jericho on commentary was funny as hell too. But overall, I thought the match, super solid. Really solid. Great way to come back to. ironically for me and Brian. But yes, really good match, and honestly, thank God I'm back doing the Brian stuff. So, that's Bryan Danielson return to our AEW run as we're doing. I hope everyone enjoys this. I love my Bryan matches. You all know this. Match 35 with Garcia of Dynamite Fight to the Fallen. Let me know what you think of the match. Let me know what you think of Bryan, obviously, you know, with Garcia and all of the above. And let me know if you're happy the Bryan matches are coming back, because honestly, I do love me some Bryan. I've got a bias. Sue me.